This video is sponsored by NordVPN, cybersecurity built for every day.
What seems to be the problem, boss?
Me? What's the problem? 13 million, 125 million, 170 million, 200 million. Flop, 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 flop. All within the year. Oh my God, Jesus Christ.
Well, gee, sorry. I mean, there's really nothing much we could do.
Yeah, let's face it. No one really goes to movie theaters anymore. Cinema's dead.
You know what would work, though? If we made another Cats movie.
Argyle, I swear to God.
Sorry.
Fuck! What the hell are we missing? We've done everything. A cheesy love note to the 80s rom-coms, an action movie starring two very hot people, another action movie starring two very hot people, and an action movie starting... Oh, you know what? You get what I'm trying to say. Good God! Does anybody here even know how to make a global box office hit anymore?
Bacao!
I'm proud, yet completely ashamed that this is the state of my company. Oh my God. Well, we all knew this was coming. Despicable Me 4 is yet another movie from Illumination for their Despicable Me franchise. And not an end in sight. So what exactly is Despicable Me 4 all about? Well, following our favorite villain turned hero Super Daddy Gru, we're roped in along as he and his family learn to live a double life under witness protection, hiding from his evil childhood nemesis. Alright, so I'll just go out and say it, the movie's trash. And not in a, oh, it's just another Despicable Me movie, the kids will love it, can kill time, yada yada. Nah man, this one is straight up garbage fire. It doesn't kill time, it's a waste of time. Like, how do I explain this movie without sounding like a total dick? You can't. The movie's bad. That's the point I'm trying to make. But here's my takeaway. The fact that I actually genuinely got disappointed seeing this movie brings out a great deal of concern for my well-being. And I'm not fucking with you. I'm not kidding when I say that the best thing about this movie were the posters. The movie posters. I mean, talk shit all you want, but Illumination knows how to market. And to be clear, you can't blame me for being disappointed in this movie because, honest to God, Illumination was doing pretty well. Sing 2 was pretty decent. Rise of Gru wasn't that bad. The Mario movie was low-key fire. And Migration was surprisingly good. Though I guess my dumbass just essentially let its guard down and pretty much just expected something good from a Despicable fucking Me movie. But be freaking honest, they were kinda having a good run there, no? Like, none of you got blindsided by how crappy this movie could be? No? You all knew it was shit? Well, fuck me, I guess. I don't know, I just find it funny how it kinda felt like Illumination started to pivot their quality to at least being decent, only to have all that momentum stop and immediately have them lay a big old goose egg. Because I'll say it since nobody else would. Illumination has the potential to be great. They're just lazy as fuck. Watching the Mario movie, Migration, hell, even the first Despicable Me movie, that's proof that Illumination can make decent to good family movies. But alas, money speaks volumes and goddamn, Illumination is a fucking frat party. So what exactly didn't I like about this movie? Well, it's pretty boring, I'll give you that. I wouldn't call the jokes a hit and miss since none of them actually tried to hit. The family dynamic is completely absent. Margo, Agnes, and Edith have virtually become useless background characters. I didn't care for the baby at all. The villain isn't fun or memorable. And oddly enough, I actually expected more from the Minions. And honestly, at that point, if the movie makes you want to see more Minions do more things, then what are we doing here? But hey, it can't be all bad, right? It is. There's gotta be at least something positive about the movie. There isn't. So maybe if we just give it a chance, we might just find out. You won't. Well, the music was pretty good. Yeah, Pharrell Williams, he's back. And his songs are pretty catchy, so there's that. I like how this is the shortest Despicable Me movie in the yeah, okay, I'll go fuck myself then. Let's just go ahead and get this over with. Let's take a look and bash this garbage fire together. This is Despicable Me 4. So the movie begins with, hello?
Hello,
And you are...
I am Hackerman. They call me Hackerman for short.
Okay, can I help you?
I am here to steal data.
Steal data?
Yes, steal data.
Whose data?
Your data.
My data?
Your data.
Oh, my data.
Yes, your data.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay, come here. Uy. What is this?
Oh, that's just NordVPN.
You mean you avoided a potential data threat all thanks to NordVPN?
Yep, which is probably why this video is sponsored by NordVPN.
Oh, wait, what?
This video is sponsored by NordVPN. NordVPN is a virtual private network that helps protect your internet connection and privacy online. But unlike other VPNs, Nord has Threat Protection Pro, an online safety feature that offers advanced digital protection from malware and online threats.
Ha! Joke's on you. I can get through you with my pop-up ads. Ah.
Not only that, but with NordVPN, you can unblock content unavailable in your region. My Netflix account is currently locked under the Philippine version, so if I wanted to watch a show like The Office, it's nowhere to be found.
Yeah, what is up with that?
Shut up. But anyways, with a few clicks, Nord helps me hop around and change my location around the world. By setting my location to somewhere like the UK, bada bing bada boom, I can now watch The Office just like that. Go to nordvpn.com/beanie with a double I and get 4 months extra on a 2-year plan. Again, that's nordvpn.com/beanie with a double I, or you can click the link in the description down below and get yourself 4 months extra on a 2-year plan. And it's risk-free with Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Click the link down below and live your life with a secured internet. And thanks to NordVPN for sponsoring this video. Wait, come back! Can you kill me with that? So the movie begins by reintroducing us to the main character, Gru, attending his high school reunion. But they'd soon reveal that this would all be a front for the anti-villain league to take down our main villain, ᵐᵤⁿᵈ. And guess what? Turns out Maxime and Gru don't really seem to get along. Shocker, I know! In a weird turn of events, Maxime would reveal that he's modified his body to look exactly like a... Ew, no. Is our main villain really gonna be someone who looks like a rejected concept of a butterfly? Not you. Come on, really guys? You went from rich spoiled brat to a wrestler to a disco dancing weirdo to a human cockroach? Kind of a huge detraction from the creative villain concept, don't you think? Which part of your demographic were you trying to please here? Ew, ew, ew! Ow! He's crawling like a cockroach too! Kill it! Kill it with fire! Luckily, after a quick battle, Gru manages to arrest Maxime with the help of the AVL, with Maxime swearing to get his revenge. So, to spoil everything for you, basically the whole movie is pretty much just Gru and his family hiding from Maxime. This would mean Gru would need to lay low and keep a low profile while the AVL tries to track down the bad guy. Now, this, on paper, sounds interesting. With all the minions and the gadgets and explosions, it honestly does sound like a pretty fun concept for a character like Gru. If this movie came out 10 years ago, it would be one thing if Gru couldn't help himself to be a villain and terrorize people, but he pretty much made it clear from the last movie that his days of villainy are over. So the concept of him trying to blend in with society falls short, because he already has. They try to do this thing where he tries to befriend a rich dude by playing tennis, but that only lasts for like 10 seconds and that goes nowhere. To give them credit, they are aware that Gru doesn't do crime anymore, so they insert this chick named Poppy who blackmails him and forces him to do so. But then again, that subplot immediately makes no sense because Poppy found out that he's Gru by simply looking him up online, so what makes you think the other neighbors can't do the same thing and blow their cover instantly? But the funniest part is that the AVL finds Maxime such a big threat that him escaping prison warrants putting Gru's entire family under witness protection. This kinda implies that Gru couldn't face this problem head on, so he has to hide and have others deal with it, only for him in the end to face it head on and have him deal with it instead, completely undercutting the point of them being in witness protection in the first place. But yeah, overall, that's the main plotline. We also get a bunch of unnecessary and unfunny subplots, but don't worry, we'll get to that. So why don't we just go ahead and talk about the first problem I have with the movie. The main villain fucking sucks. ᵐᵒⁿᵈ is probably by far the worst villain of the franchise, which just makes the Will Ferrell casting such an insulting punch in the gut. Yeah, that's Will Ferrell doing the voice of ᵐᵒⁿᵈ. Yeah, don't get your hopes up. Not even Megamind could save this movie. Motherfucker, you had Will Ferrell on your payroll and this was the best you could come up with? You hired the dude who voiced Megamind and your best interest was to make him a French human-sized cigarette butt. Full disclosure, by the way, ᵐᵒⁿᵈ being an overgrown pita bread with wings isn't the issue here. It's literally everything else. I don't know what his deal is, but ᵐᵒⁿᵈ is straight up just not funny. He has this thick and heavy French accent that just doesn't land well at any point in the movie.
Well, Gru has it coming. If it isn't Gru, they're loser. I can never focus on just being evil.
It would have been great if they gave him some funny lines to go with the exaggerated voice, but they don't do that. What's the point then? The kids in the audience can't understand you, meanwhile the adults watching can, but they don't find you funny, so what do we do with the character then? We're just left with an annoying, useless antagonist that has no niche to play off of, unlike the previous bad guys. Right off the bat, he comes off as a prick, but the writers don't really go anywhere with that, comedic wise. Visually, he looks terrible, spending most of the screen time wearing an oversized furry coat, and when he's not wearing that, he's a fucking cockroach. And don't even get me started on his girlfriend. Oh dear lord. Sofia Vergara, I love you, but girl.
Ugh, I'm not calling you that stupid name. How long is this gonna take? I get me a slushie.
Ugh. They even establish that he has total control over cockroaches, but we never see him do anything creative with it. There's a scene in the movie where he talks and thanks his fellow roaches for bailing him out of prison, but we never get to see how they did it. It would have been fun to see the whole thing play out, see how effective the cockroaches are, maybe throw in some funny visual gags here and there. Hell, it can even help show just how much of a threat ᵐᵒⁿᵈ really is. But I doubt that would do much because I'll keep it a buck. ᵐᵒⁿᵈ barely has any weight in the story. He escapes being detained by the AVL and immediately sets his sights on getting revenge on Gru and his family. But then we end up not seeing him until there's like 10 minutes left in the movie. Oh, by the way, ᵐᵒⁿᵈ's great big revenge plan was to kidnap Gru's baby in the end. Stakes are higher? Well, anyway, back to the movie. With the family safely relocated, Lucy finds the silver lining that this could be their opportunity to be a normal family.
You know what, Gru? Maybe this isn't so bad. We can actually be a normal family for once.
This never happens, by the way. The whole family never gets a chance to bond together for the entire runtime. I don't even think they end up being in the same room together from here on out. But Gru would also find this as a chance to bond with his newborn baby. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. World, Gru Jr. Gru Jr. World. If it wasn't already obvious enough, this 3D stock model of a child would be Gru and Lucy's newborn baby. If you didn't connect those dots earlier, then this movie is just for you. But not only that, this would confirm that Gru and Lucy pretty much did the deed off screen, if you know what I mean. Do you think the Minions were watching? Also, ever notice that Junior here looks a wee bit familiar? A little too familiar if you ask me. Almost a near lawsuit level kind of familiar to a character from another specific animation studio. No? Okay then. Well, anyway, introducing a baby into the mix isn't really something new. In fact, adding a new ingredient to your formula can improve and expand your character's motivation and story, especially when it comes to movies that heavily rely on a solid family dynamic. The movie definitely does a hard push on the Gru and Gru Jr. tandem, and to be fair, they do kinda do a decent job building it up and paying it off. But I feel like they could have done a lot more when it comes to Gru Jr. because it does feel like Gru's attention is way too focused on the baby that it could have easily bothered any of the Gorls, especially with someone who's as emotionally dependent as Agnes. I totally could have seen a classic attention tug of war between the two kids, and hey, maybe in that way the Gorls wouldn't be as useless as they were in this movie. Speaking of which, hi! In case you guys forgot, these are the main characters of the movie. Sorry about that. I had the intuition to remind you to not forget about these people because apparently Illumination did. Yeah. From what used to be the driving force of heart in the Despicable Me movies, Illumination just said fuck it and decided to throw Margo, Agnes, and Edith right down the Shadow Realm. I am not kidding. They are essentially background characters in this goddamn thing. Watch this. Can I tell you just how insignificant they are in this movie? There's this one scene where Gru picks up Margo from school and, well, take a look.
Someone put a glitter bomb in my locker. Ugh, teenagers are the worst.
Yeah, babies are no picnic either.
3 movies worth of character development, everybody.
My problem is more stressful than your problem, so I will not be the good father that I was in the previous movies and not ask about your day. Let's go home.
And that's pretty much it for Margo's storyline. Is she getting bullied? Who's bullying her? Why is she getting bullied? Is this a new school? Why didn't Gru defend her and fuck up the bully? Despicable Me 1 to 3 Gru would not let this slide. He would have straight up gotten out of the car and planted every locker with glitter bombs. Hell, this could have been a great moment for him to show how hard it is to live a double life under witness protection. But this just goes nowhere. He just drives away. Cool. Agnes and Edith also get their own subplots that also go absolutely nowhere. Edith's subplot is that she has beef with her karate instructor, so she beats him, and that's the end of that. And then Agnes's subplot is that out of nowhere she can't lie. So her main issue is that she doesn't want to be addressed by a different name. It's a cute and innocent dilemma, don't get me wrong, especially for a kid. Look at it from an angle where a 5-year-old has an identity crisis. And that's pretty funny. And guess how her subplot gets resolved? It all gets resolved once Gru takes down Maxime and the family can come out of hiding again. Literally, her subplot ends because the movie had to end. She and no one else was going to do anything about it. But not only that, we've got a ton of other subplots that are just so tedious and boring that don't go anywhere. Well, except one. Yep, we have the Poppy subplot, where an aspiring villain named Poppy blackmails Gru into stealing a school's mascot. It's a simple premise, but this honestly is probably the best part of the movie since it is the closest one to what a Despicable Me movie should be like. It's chaotic, it's fast-paced, and I like how they made Gru get back to his villainous roots. They do this thing where he accidentally brings over Junior's baby stuff instead of his gadgets, and to the movie's credit, seeing Gru improvise and make do to what he's got was fun to see. Side note, the school mascot they're stealing was a honey badger, which ironically led to this.
Have you ever even seen a honey badger? They literally eat bees and cobras for breakfast. Honey badger don't care.
Honey badger don't what? A honey badger callback? Terminator? A Sam Raimi Spider-Man 2 reference? The fuck kind of demographic are you guys pandering to? Oh my god, they know we're watching! But of course, we also have the other subplots that I was talking about. We have one with Lucy. She wants to be a hairstylist but quits within the day. So now she's got the Terminator chasing her for the bad haircut. There's one with a tennis match against Gru's neighbor Perry, but they never really even get to play tennis. A minion just kept fucking it up. Oh, which reminds me. Because the family needs to lay low, the minions get hired as interns for the AVL. Again, this goes nowhere since they don't do anything with that concept. So what they end up doing is pretty much taking over a million minions and shoving them all into one cramped office space. Yeah, so I'm guessing the studio wanted to limit the number of appearances the minions do in this movie, probably because they want to make the most of it in their upcoming third Minions movie. But that's not all there is though, because deadass, the movie pretty much blatantly copies from the last Minions movie, and get this, half a group of superpowered Megaminions beat the bad guy. Hey man, can I copy off of your homework? Yeah, sure, just make sure it looks different so it doesn't look like you just copied it. No problem. This kinda just proves that Illumination doesn't have any continuity experts. But yeah, this is the thing. About 10 years too late, Illumination finally parodied superhero movies. Good job. Excellent time. Great job. Join at the right time. Which got me thinking, it's kind of weird how this is the first time we get a legitimate version of a powered superhero in this universe. You'd think a world filled with super powered villains, we'd at least get some Supermen at some point. But no, turns out the AVL has been working on some experiments to enhance our fellow minions and give them superpowers.
Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the Megaminions!
Ladies and gentlemen, I give you new merchandise! Honestly, I found this part of the movie uninteresting. They get a fun montage of trying out their powers and saving the day, but everything backfires, so I thought that was decent. But then the director of the AVL just pulls the plug on them and retires the idea. All that screen time in those trailers and you couldn't even last 10 fucking minutes. With them retired, it kinda makes you wonder, do they come back and save Gru when Gru was under attack by Maxime? And the answer is no. Gru handles Maxime all by himself, and it's only when Maxime is injured and defeated do the Megaminions show up and, quote, finish the job. Motherfucker, did you just fucking die? But overall, the whole movie feels like 10 different scripts mashed together to create an hour-long skit. And I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case. Gru takes down the bad guy, Maxime goes to jail, everyone can go back to their normal lives, and all is well. With the movie ending, you know what that means. Cue the musical number.
Everybody wants to rule them. Everybody wants to rule the world.
Ironically enough, this was probably the best use they could have ever done with this song. And I'm not gonna lie, boys, this part of the movie, it got me a little emotional. I don't know. Maybe it has something to do with the fact that they brought back the villains from the previous movies, even including the ones from the prequels. Or maybe the fact that I recognize each and every one of them as well. I guess it's just the thought that throughout the years, we've grown with these characters. We started off with an evil villain hell-bent on stealing the moon with his little minions, to watching him grow as a person and raise a family. We've experienced joy, sadness, disappointment, and even accomplishments together with the Gorls. And the multiple villains we've encountered along the way and how they made us all laugh through it all. I don't know, maybe because it's been 14 years since the release of the first Despicable Me movie, and that, I guess, just dawned on me on how, like it or not, the Despicable Me franchise has and always will be La Familia. I should probably just stop watching Illumination, to be honest. What else is there left to say that I haven't already mentioned before? The story's a mess, the writing is lazy, the jokes fall completely flat, and the characters just feel uninvested. It just feels like this whole movie is on autopilot. I know I kinda play it a bit soft when it comes to Illumination movies, but I have to draw a line at some point, and this definitely drew a line. Come on, Illumination, where's the heart? Where's the effort? Bring back what made Despicable Me tolerable. At this point, anything under this IP is gonna make profit anyway, so why not at least try? Unfunny, boring, and all over the place, Despicable Me 4 is just another reminder that sometimes you just can't teach an old dog new tricks. That's why I'm giving this movie 2 out of 10. That's for today's video. I hope you enjoyed your stay. Have a great day and a great life, and I'll see you all next time. I'm going to bed. Bye!